Bottom of the hour, back on Get Up. The game is called Awesome, Awful, Awkward. Jeff, looking back on Week 10, now concluding. Give me something you saw that was awesome.
George Pickens' touchdown catch. This is insane.
Body control.
Exactly. He elevates, spins in the air, catches the ball, and the landing itself, I'm getting hip pointers. It might shatter. The pelvis might shatter for me. But he's able to catch this thing and bring it in, making Russell Wilson look like the best decision Tomlin ever made is right. That is an insane catch by George Pickens.
That was awesome, but the awful thing, Graziano, came in the same game.
Washington still has a chance to win. It's 4th and 1 from midfield. They're not going to run a play, guys. They're not going to run a play. Don't. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Do it.
Come on.
Oh, the rookie.
Oh, and that ended the game. That was unfortunate.
Rookie's going rookie. Rookie's going to rookie.
Newton.
No, they're not going to snap the ball. Just don't.
Playing well, too. He's
exactly.
Really good.
All this fam at home being like, come on. Oh.
That was awful.
That's brutal.
Neek, show me something awkward.
Oh, CeeDee Lamb not being able to see the ball in the sun, and the owner suggesting that we just tear down the whole stadium now. No, just close the blinds. We don't got to tear down the house. Just close the blinds. It's pretty awkward when your own stadium works against you for, what's this, like the third time we've seen something like this happen? Don't they punt the ball into the Jumbotron, too?
Yeah.
It's just a mess down there, man. It's just a damn mess.
Hey, you know what?
Beautiful place.
Hey.
Yeah.
They making money down there.
Yeah.
They ain't winning games. They making money.
That's for sure. The question is, where does it all go from here? The Cowboys clearly are a team that is going to have to do some rebuilding after this season. Maybe it will, maybe it won't involve making a coaching change. In the event that it does, Stephen A. Smith yesterday, as only he can, had a suggestion on First Take.
I believe that the Dallas Cowboys should tank the rest of the season, get the number 1 overall pick, so you can draft Shedeur Sanders, and by the way, hire primetime Deion Sanders as your head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. I think that should be Jerry Jones's master plan. That's right, I said it.
Here's the truth. All kidding aside, Mike Tannenbaum and I said that in August. We said that the best course for the Cowboys would be that they hire Deion Sanders and try and get his son be the quarterback. And then a very strange thing happened. On the morning the season began, Dan Graziano,
remember that?
Half of that plan became impossible.
Yeah, because they signed Dak Prescott to a massive contract extension, historic, largest of all time for a quarterback or any player in the NFL. So if you bring in Shedeur Sanders, you're going to have to do something with Dak Prescott. Trading Dak Prescott would cost the Cowboys more than $100 million in dead money on next year's cap. And, if you thought Jerry Jones was crying poor about the cap this year, wait till he has $103 million dead sitting there for Dak Prescott.
So let's move past the Shedeur piece of this. And candidly, if the Cowboys were to be tanking, how would you know the difference? But
exactly.
Having watched them play so far. But let's live in the Deion of it, because I'm starting to hear that a lot, which means it's something that some people out there want to see happen. Deion Sanders to the Cowboys in a vacuum. Do you like it?
Sure. It's like it seems like Deion Sanders is very interesting and exciting, which seems like that's more important to Jerry Jones than anything else. Deion it seems that he's gotten Colorado turned around pretty quickly. So that suggests that he has some coaching ability to do at multiple different places. I'm sure it's a job that he can do. I'm not sure that this is a job that anyone can succeed at, given the current state of the situation there and the way the expectations are and the way the franchise is being built. So sure, Deion is so unorthodox a figure in coaching. He's so unique that maybe it will work, but I don't have any reason to believe that anybody, I don't think Belichick goes in there and fixes it. I would love to see Mike Vrabel is another great coach that I think I would love to see in that situation. But imagining Mike Vrabel trying to operate in a situation where the owner is giving press conferences outside the locker room before it starts, before they then can speak to you, seems absurd. It's a situation that I think most self-respecting coaches, like top of the top coaches, would not be interested in, and which is why I'm not sure that Deion should even consider it.
Right.
I actually like the fit. I think the issue would be Jerry more than Deion. I think Jerry might not like the shine that Deion would get and create. And Deion sticks by his conviction and does not care. He's not going to placate to anybody, whether it's Jerry Jones or anyone else. The head coaching job in the NFL is based on this. Can you hire good coaches to be your coordinators? And I think Deion can be and you set the standard for how you're going to tolerate your players. Is this guy what I want to be a Dallas Cowboy? That's what separates Deion from others. And when you see the Dan Campbells of the world, right, and you see these players, even D'Amico Ryan, it's the style of player that you want to run and be part of your organization. That's where I think Deion separates himself from other coaches, and I think that would be a very good fit for that.
As you were talking, it hit me that Deion is actually the perfect person for this situation.
Sure.
Because there has to be someone with a personality and credibility big enough that he can say, I don't care what the owner says. And that when the players try to circumvent this situation, Deion's going to say, no.
That's exactly right.
I can't accept that. I'll go somewhere else. I don't need this.
That's right.
I do think that it has to be someone like that. And maybe Belichick fits in that category because of his cachet, where someone that is so well respected and has so much cachet or power or goodwill from some other situation that Jerry Jones can't overshadow them and make them look like they're just a crony for the owner.
Problem is, does Jerry Jones want to hire somebody like that?
Right.
I mean, that's the issue here. Because, I mean, you look at what we've talked about this Dallas Cowboys coaching job and how different it is from everything else. We've talked, how Mike McCarthy is a guy that is sort of okay with it. I'm going to coach the team. I'm going to do my thing. He's going to do his thing, and it doesn't bother me. Jason Garrett lasted a long time with the same mindset, right? When they had the job open, they didn't interview very many people. It was Mike and it was Marvin Lewis, and there wasn't much else on the list. So I think, could Deion Sanders coach the Cowboys and be successful? Sure. I don't think we should underestimate Deion Sanders' coaching ability at this point. No, I think he's exceeded all expectations.
Are every single year multiple jobs that come open that would be in a vacuum infinitely more attractive opportunities. Infinitely more. The Cowboys are a team going in this direction. Yeah. They're not getting any better anytime soon.
It's hard to get more attractive than Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb. So I agree
it is. It's easy because then those three guys are getting paid 80% of the salary cap. You have no room to pay anybody else. If they pay Micah Parsons and don't trade him, as I have been advocating for, they're not going to have any money left to pay anybody else to play.
But Deion's a showman, and where is the show bigger than it is in Dallas? Like it would.
I mean, you can build a roster around those talents. I get your point. Like the talent in the NFL is so close. Like it's not like college where it's going to be three good players, then a bunch of guys that are going to be working 9 to 5.
Draft well, you can do it.
Like they can build a team around that talent.
But Nick, Dak Prescott is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. No disrespect meant to him. Is he one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL? Like, is he on the little tiny list?
Is he? Yes.
Yeah. On the little tiny list of best quarterbacks.
Okay, you want to say you're talking Allen, Mahomes, and Lamar? No. Okay.
Right.
After that, yes, he's in that next.
Yeah.
But if you're going to elevate a roster, all we ever talk about is how once you pay the quarterback, you can't afford to pay the rest of the guys. You need to have a guy who can elevate all these other people. Well, no one has.
Well,
I mean, Lamar's doing it right now. Like they paid the quarterback and they also paid the receiver's a rookie, but they paid the running back $8 million a year. And Lamar is
they paid the running back almost nothing. That's the point. You can pay a running back.
This is the 5th best offense in the history of football. And my point is, just because you paid a quarterback doesn't mean you can't be good at football.
Right.
That's the absurd thing that we keep listening to people say, like, once you pay the quarterback, unless your quarterback's the best in the league, you can't be good. Yes, you can.
Like last year's Rams, right? Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald all making monster numbers. And that's a competitive team that got in the playoffs. And it can be done. You have to draft well, and you got to coach it well.
But it hasn't been done. They didn't do anything of consequence last year. When they won the Super Bowl, they didn't have all those guys getting paid all of that money. The point is, you're about to have the most expensive quarterback, expensive receiver, and expensive defensive player all at the same time on your roster. Go back and find me a team that can succeed that way. The quarterbacks who can elevate players. I mean, Bart Scott sits in that seat and talks all the time about how the quarterback needs to leave some cheese on the taco for other people, which is his expression. But it happens to be true.
No, it doesn't, though. I'm not advocating for guys taking less than what they deserve. General manager, do your job. Once your quarterback gets what he deserves, you then need to draft well. Coach, do your job. You then need to create schemes that elevate the players that are around you. The quarterback is not a magical being where we think that just because he's some special guy that he can make everyone else magic. No, pay the guy what he deserves. Don't need no cheese on the taco or whatever. Don't need no meat, lettuce. Take all the taco ingredients that you deserve and let the general manager do his damn job.
Right.
You can allocate salary throughout the course of a contract. You can amortize it over the contract. This is just a thing that owners and general managers use as a negotiation ploy to bully players into taking less than they deserve. And Bart Scott talking about cheese on tacos or pizzas or whatever food is just perpetuating that Nonsense.
Well,
I see.
except that the whole salary cap is a zero-sum game. They're going to everyone's going to get the money one way or another. It's a question of how you distribute it. And these teams, the teams that winds up winning are the teams that have the best right guard and have the best off-ball linebacker and can have someone to plug in when someone else gets hurt. And those are the guys you don't have when you're paying three guys everything.
Those are not expensive. If you don't make them expensive, those don't have to be expensive positions. That's the difference is where you're placing your cap money and where you're allocating those
Are you paying
resources.
Micah Parsons $38 million a year next year? So now you got those three guys.
Absolutely.
Okay, good luck to you.
I sure ain't letting Mike Parsons walk out the door.
Okay.
That's for sure.
He can talk. He can say he can have all the podcasts
all he wants.
He can host Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
If he rushed the passer like that.
Lord.
Okay.